Hello, friends and soul family. It's Martha Creek here. Delighted to serve with you, bowing to you in your devotion to principles, to living them, to expressing them, and to a full and fuller embodiment of them. And I'm practicing with you too. Today's topic takes a look at regrets. Do you have any regrets? Regrets. I have a few. Maybe not. Maybe you don't have regrets. One of my guiding principles is to make choices that leave me with less regret. And I had a lot of teachers over the years that I asked. One comes to mind specifically when I had this iconic, extraordinary opportunity to go work for this very mega church back in my early career, 24 years ago now. And about that, maybe 22. And it was, my dad got ill with a throat cancer, was facing quite a bit of treatment and trips, long drives from Bug Tussle, Kentucky to Nashville, Tennessee. You can look it up on the map to see geographically what this meant, particularly for someone not feeling so well. And I asked this teacher, one of my mystery school teachers, what's the path here? What am I going to do? Because I've got this great opportunity over here, this ultimate apple picking, cherry picking career move over here. And then I've got my daddy who's not feeling well. It's going to need some treatment. This man was so still and quiet and thoughtful. And his response was, "That's easy, Martha." Well, it didn't feel easy to me. And after he said, "That's easy, Martha," make the choice that will leave you with less regret. Helpful, because then it didn't take that long for me to know I'm going home. And I'm going to give my dad and my family the care and attention and the energy and the vitality that I've been giving these ministries for several years. And that's where my time and attention and love and heart and ministry is going to go. So there was no regret there. And then one day, Daddy, when he was later on and he had several treatments and was coming in and out of this, and we had these long drives to Nashville in the car. And one day I asked him about what he regretted. What do you regret? Now, this is a man who had been drinking, smoking cigarettes, and he would probably call it doing some hell raising. Since he was a young boy, a teenage boy, his mother had died when he was a teenage boy, was raised by his daddy then after that. And one other brother, Thomas, my dad's name is Joe. And so 3 men growing up in a household without the presence of this mother and wife that had been important to them all. And he says that's about when they all started drinking, when she died. And they moved off to Illinois. And he somehow, even though he drank all those years, he never kind of got caught. He never got arrested. He didn't get in trouble. He didn't have accidents, really, although he drank a lot and daily in most cases for a long time. And then he went and drove drunk and drove with us drunk. And somehow it wasn't his to be arrested or being in those dances with law and law enforcement and imprisonment and things. And then one time later in his years, he got stopped by the local law enforcement and he was arrested and spent a night in jail for being drunk. And he couldn't believe it. He was so offended. The law enforcement was his friend. How could he do that to him? He also did some other things that are more private that most people would have had regrets about. So when I asked him, "What do you regret, Daddy? What do you regret?" He was thoughtful. He paused and he said, "Honey, I don't have any regrets." And it blew me away. I mean, I expected at least a short list of regrets, something he could dredge up, something that he could say he actually regretted. No, he said, I don't have any regrets. And he went on to say, if I had it to do over, if I had it to do again, I would definitely do some things differently. And I can't do it over. So I'm not going to live out the rest of my days, ever how much days, years, weeks, months, whatever I have to live, I'm not going to live it under the heavy weight of regrets of things I can't do a doggone thing about. So that was meaningful to me. Like that's its own teaching. And you can see how it struck me, maybe because all these years later, 20 years later, now 15, 18 years later, this is still like so much a part of what defined me. Dr. Phil McGraw said I had a defining moment there. And he said that I've made a choice now that I would definitely do it differently. And I'm not going to live out whatever days I have under the heaviness of this regret. So a new potential. You know, I'm doing keynote speaking this month several times, and their bio and some of the things they say about me when they introduce me include that one of my things is to make choices that will lead and leave less regret. And I'm still doing that today. So I give thanks to Daddy for that. I give thanks for Baba G, this teacher from mystery school, for that. And I give thanks to me for my own discernment about that. And also of this wake up in me. So then I thought, okay, I want to live with less regrets. And the truth is I still have some every now and then. Then I'll regret letting something go. I'll regret waiting to the last minute, maybe to get something done. I regret that I put something off and I burned the midnight oil to get it done. I regret that I was in a beautiful place and didn't go in the woods or take a walk or go out to the beach because I was serving people or serving churches. And I was so into work that I didn't go into nature more. Occasionally that comes in. And then I think, do I actually regret that? Because now I have a chance to go in the woods and I don't much. I have a chance to go sit on the porch. I have a chance to go rock. And I don't much because I'm still called to do something else. So what is regret? What regrets do you have? If any, do you have regrets? So maybe in your meditation, consider, what are regrets? Do I have them? And if I have them, if you have them, what is the weight? What is the weight of those regrets? And as we hear more and more news about what's happening out in the world and somebody else with mental illnesses and the pain of that and the shootings and deaths and that, and how to go, okay, I regret not being more active. I regret that I didn't dig in there, that there was something I could have done there, maybe that whatever. And then it's like, whoa, like I couldn't have done that because I didn't. And it's over now. So the better question is, what can I do from here to live with the regrets I have, to have regrets and not let the regrets have me? I have regrets and I don't want the regrets to have me. So I know then to holding on to these regrets is like dragging this heavy weighted woulda, coulda, shoulda from the past everywhere I go, which drains off my energy, drains off my vitality, keeps me from being as resilient, as resourceful. It takes away the grit that I have to say, what can I do from here? What will I do from here? What will I do in response to some of this news? What will I do starting now? And that then I'm not going to be as referring to the past and wishing that I had a different past, which I heard described one time as true forgiveness. Is when I can look at my past and not wish for a different past. It's like, I can't change the past. Byron Katie says, my favorite thing about the past is it's over. So then starting here, so I cannot constantly refer to what might have been, could have been, should have been, and serve. I cannot constantly refer to that and keep my vitality up, keep myself in presence, keep myself in right relationship with God, life, higher power, universe, whatever you call it. And I cannot let any regrets or even cousins of regret of what I didn't do stop me from taking defined action now. And I cannot let the heaviness of my heart be in vain for what I have the power to change now, not back there, but now. So I take another big exhale and invite you to some good crying, sobs, crying helps, that's another sermon, but it's proven scientifically that every single tear has pain relief elements to it. So have a good cry, and I have plenty of them. And then to ask, then what can I do? And then to devote and rededicate my life ever more deeply, to be willing to do all I can to do, to be the change that I want to see in the world for whatever time I have left in the world and on this earth. So I start again and again and again, and including self-forgiveness, and to receive that self-forgiveness as a soothing balm, as heart healing, mind healing, then to free myself again and again and again. And as I can honestly embrace this and hold my own regrets, to live with these regrets, to integrate these regrets, that it's part of my human learning process. It's part of my human and soul evolution. They are included. And then in allowing that I can then also acknowledge the desires of my heart to bring about change that I've not been able to do so far, to admit what I cannot change and to admit the limits that I have about that. So changing what I can, accepting what I cannot. Then I continue in doing so to lift the burden of this and to free myself daily through spiritual practices, forgiveness, repentance, meditation, whatever works for you, purification processes of any kind, to lift this burden of regret. And then I'm able then to offer and to be quicker to offer forgiveness to whoever I've been affected by. And then I can also extend forgiveness to all others for any hurt that I have, and then to ask and hold a place that I receive their forgiveness as well for anything, any hurt or suffering that I'm party to. So the good news, we can start today. I can start today again. You can start today again to close the gap on any future regrets. And like Daddy died 15 years ago. It's unbelievable that much time has passed. And I still operate by that baseline that I chose during his life, to say, choose the option in whatever situation, in whatever circumstance, choose the option that's going to leave you with less regret. So whatever the decision, that's my guideline. That's Martha Creek's guideline. It could be yours. And you may have one different or better than that. Then go have your baseline. Go find one for you that would be your integrity meter, your GPS, your God position system that says, this is how I'm going to be, regardless of what happens out there, regardless of what they do. This is how I'm going to be when I can and when I can't, to be quick to offer grace, to be quick to offer forgiveness, and to be quick to say, I have regret and I know how to live with those regrets. And I know how to have regrets and regrets not have me. So we're choosing today to have a new ending. A new ending using all we know, all of our spiritual practices and teachings. We can accept the past as it is, don't have to like it, don't have to love it. We can surrender to what had to be wouldn't prefer it, don't want to live some of it again. And there it was. We can also let go of images of what could have been, should have been, would have been, and let go and free ourselves from the shame and the hate and the blame on self. And then to the degree that we can do that, we can extend that to others. I can extend that to others, and to be quicker to do that. So then I can be a channel of love and a light, a radiant beacon of light and love to more situations, to more circumstances, including myself. And I'm tying today and inviting you to tie your heartstrings. I'm tying my heartstrings around any regrets we have and accepting them, receiving them as a gift, that they're a normal part of our human learning processes. And begin again today to use what we've learned to uplift our actions and to uplift our thinking and our attitudes, and to definitely be more in integrity to ourselves and to the energy of our hearts. And to stop, S-T-O-P, as Hadlin says, stop this being our harshest critics, and to receive a powerful healing of love that is available to us at any time for the turning toward it, for the receiving it. So regrets and all, I extend love to you. I extend love for you. I've had a few regrets, maybe more than a few. And I've got more than a glimpse at how to have regrets and them not have me. So I'm blessed. I bless you. Bless you to realize your blessings, and whatever pain you have, whatever regret pain you have, I offer you a higher love on that today. All blessings. MarthaCreek.com to contact me and let me know how I can serve you. MarthaCreek.com if I can support you. Blessings.